This is the K95.3 Sports Show podcast, brought to you by the Fan Zone in Wilmer's Candy Mall.
Welcome to the K95.3 Sports Show podcast. My name is Beau Stanfus. I am your host. As usual, if you like what you hear, please hit the thumbs up for the video. Please hit subscribe if you want to catch more episodes as they come out. If you're on your cell phone, hit the bell right next to subscribe, and it'll give you push notifications every Wednesday morning when I drop a new episode. Also, thank you to the Fan Zone for sponsoring us. Get into the Candy Mall today and check out all the great things the Fan Zone has there for sports memorabilia. So here we are, the week after the draft, getting ready to talk some Vikings draft, and I have with me my brother-in-law, DJ. How's it going, DJ?
It's going good.
Good. And we're talking football, but Tim's here for some reason. Tim Meyering, who's normally my go-to Twins guy, told me about a month ago that he's also hardcore into the draft and just football as a whole. So
yeah, I'm not a one-trick pony, man. I know a little bit.
Yeah. So welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So let's before we start, I want to do a little patting on my back because if you listen to last week's episode, I said they were going to go either Ford or Bradbury if he was there.
Yep.
And they did.
I was waiting for this.
And I did say they're going tight end second. I said a different tight end, but I did say they were going tight end in the second round.
Who did you say for that?
Somebody in Iowa, I thought.
Was it Font or Hawkinson?
Yeah. One of them.
Fanta.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
So just to reiterate that I know what I'm doing. No, I'm just kidding.
This is why you're the best, man.
Yeah.
All right, here we
that's
go.
why I got a podcast. No,
that's right.
Not because I work at a radio station. No. Brilliant. Oh shoot. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Both DJ and I, with my father, were at the draft party last Thursday, I should say, and we were all super excited. In case you missed it, we were on the Star Tribune.
Yes.
We're in the sports front.
Yes,
sports
we were.
page.
I saw that. You guys are like big deal. I'm gonna have you guys sign that after the show today. Sign the paper.
I will.
Your dad was mad that my arm was covering him.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty. He was like, "Oh, your arm's covering me."
Took away his fame, man.
Yeah. So we obviously looked excited, and we were. The place went crazy. I mean, just the way the draft fell for the Vikings was every pick kept on going by. No offensive lineman, no offensive lineman, no offensive lineman. The one they expected to go early went. You're just like, Jesus, just keep. We were like, first we thought we were going to have a chance at Lindstrom.
Right.
But then he went.
I was so when I saw him go, I was so I wanted him so bad, but then
we were talking back and forth on Messenger.
Right, and I thought if we're gonna land Lindstrom here, we're gonna get Dillard, and I thought, well, either way, we're gonna end up with a great player because some of those guys that went early on just threw me off, like the Daniel Jones and some of those picks where that Wilkins went high, and I was like, oh my goodness.
So you have a couple of those.
When you know when those guys went, you kind of think to yourself, we have a shot to get who we want here, and
a choice.
And we had a choice between Dillard, Taylor, and Bradbury, and I think we made the right choice.
Yep,
I do too. And I was reading up, obviously on Bradbury a little bit, and actually found out that before we hired Kubiak, he was already looking at offensive linemen and stuff when he was in Denver.
Yep.
Already scouting this draft class when he was in Denver, and according to Spielman, he said he was Kubiak's favorite, was Bradbury, and having worked a long time with O-line coach who is now ours, Rick Dennison, for decades, Kubiak knew the type of player they both wanted, and they zeroed in on Bradbury. They said one thing about these guys being together, they know the exact type of player they are looking for with Kubiak and Dennison. So he's a zone blocking, which is what we're doing, center, and played in a similar system at North Carolina State.
Right.
And so almost a perfect scheme
for
what we're doing here in Minnesota.
And I think, I don't know what you think, DJ and Beau, but can't miss center prospect. There's not a lot of those that come out,
No, there's not.
but he's a can't miss. I mean, you obviously we're gonna kick. I mean, he's got to play center. This week K-Fan had Spielman on and Dennison on, and they pretty much said that barring something crazy happening, Bradbury's going to play center, and then Elfine's going to kick inside the guard, which is what we all thought would happen.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
I mean, you can't pass him up at 18. You couldn't be more. And then you see his face; he was so excited to be a Viking. Oh my goodness!
Yes, it was, like you said, moving Elfline into left guard. Obviously, got Klein now at right guard.
Right.
We've got we've got O'Neal on the right side, which has been great. You got Reef,
Solid, yep.
yeah. Which I mean, if he can build on to what he had last year,
Oh, yeah.
Right.
and just get better, it's going to be great. Reef is Reef,
Yep.
but
I don't mind Reef.
yeah,
He's because didn't he play guard the previous season, and then we switched him out to tackle?
Yeah, he played both positions
with the Lions
a couple years ago.
yeah, with
and
the
then,
Lions.
Yeah, he
He was on the right side.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Reef had 3 bad games last year, which really brought his season down. But other than that, I mean,
Yeah.
he had a couple games that were like insanely good. So we know what he has. 2 years ago, he was great. So
And we don't need 5 Pro Bowlers.
No.
So we just need guys who can compete average to above average
Mm-hmm.
and gel together as a team. I mean, look at what the Colts did. The Colts essentially added 1, maybe 2 people,
right,
and it elevated their line
right.
to
Yep.
the best in the league, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's a huge difference, and I'm just super excited to see what Bradbury brings to the Vikes and what Rick Dennison does for the Vikes. Because I mean, if he's been with Kubiak for all these years, and we all know the running backs that Kubiak has just plug in any running back
Yep.
behind his offensive lines. and they
Nobody's.
just- yeah, and
Yeah.
they just run like crazy. So I'm super excited for that because I think losing our O-line coach last year
Yes, and
definitely hurt us, and having the 2-headed assistant take over, it just didn't work.
Not only that,
yeah, I said it the whole season, Beau. You know that it really hurt. It really hurt the team losing
When
Tony.
Sperano passed away. Yeah.
Yep. So that's good. So we go. Obviously, that was our number one need. Like I said, everybody at the draft party was super happy. Everybody wanted offensive linemen.
I mean, if you weren't excited for that pick, you're not really a fan because you had to know we needed that.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes, exactly. I've never seen a fan base so excited for an offensive
For an
lineman.
offensive lineman,
Yeah.
a non-playmaker. But yeah, you know what? I mean, other than the only other position maybe would be like the slam dunk tight end that was up there at Hawkinson, but he never would have fell that far. Other than that, I mean, you can't
what
be
we need.
upset about
Yep.
it, you know.
And obviously, we took a tight end in the second round. Smith Jr., Irvin Smith Jr. From what I read, pretty much strong route runner, speed threat, clocked a 4.63 in the 40-yard dash. Run blocking, yes, he needs to work on his run blocking. But once again, if you've got somebody who's been around like Dennison for so long, obviously he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
So it's going to be a great coach for him. I'm excited for it because it sounds like he's a guy that we can line up in the slot sometimes. Line up in the backfield and run it out. So I think definitely we'll be doing a lot of 2 tight end sets this year.
Yep.
And I think him going into the slot, we might see. It's
yes. They showed some film, and he definitely played a little bit in the slot. Also lined up as an H-back a couple times. Like you said, he's quick. Was it 4.64?
Yep.
He ran
4.63.
And
Yeah.
oh, sorry. Okay. never mind. He's faster than I thought he was. Like you said, not great at the run block. I wanted him. I liked him at first, and I watched a little bit about him, and I'm not as big a fan as I was. But at the same time, we got him at pick 50.
50.
Yep.
I mean, you can't go wrong with one of the top 3 tight ends in the draft projections at number 50. I mean,
Yep.
so I mean, I'm good with it. What do you think?
I like it, especially coming out of Alabama. He's going to be playing against the teams that
Right,
are
yeah.
like pro teams essentially. They're just a step below. I mean, some of those teams could beat some of the NFL teams right now. I mean,
Yeah, the Cardinals.
Cardinals
Yeah,
Jags.
exactly. I mean, that's what I do like about getting guys from Alabama is for that reason. And he's, what shoot.
His hands are really good.
Yes, that's
Yes.
what I'm saying. His hands are very good. And, of course, Rudolph being in his last year of his contract, but here's the thing. I don't see us going into the season with 4 tight ends
No.
because you got Conklin and you got Morgan. So if Smith just comes in there and blows people away, is Rudolph a mid-preseason cut?
I would say trade. Because there's teams
Yeah,
out there.
I would say maybe a trade.
There's teams out there that do need a tight end.
Yes. Like DJ said, teams need tight end, and Rudolph. I mean, Morgan's a fan favorite. So is Rudolph. Morgan is younger, and Conklin's a second year. He ain't getting cut. I'm sorry, Conklin ain't getting cut. He's too good of a blocker to get cut. Morgan is a great blocker, and that's the reason why he's probably gonna stay on the team. Rudolph is probably of those 3, Conklin,
Is the odd man
Morgan,
out.
and Rudolph. Rudolph's easily the worst blocker of those 3.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, and anyone will tell you that as far as watching the Vikings. I mean, obviously the best hands, but now we have Smith. His hands are great too. So when you think about it,
It might be.
it honestly might be Rudolph out. And like you just said, maybe a trade. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut. There's always those players that don't make the team that you really don't expect to get cut. But I mean, there's a couple of the last few years of the Vikings too. So you never know.
Yep. No, so it's exciting to see that and see. Well, it'll be a fun battle to see what happens. I mean, that's something to be watching the entire preseason. So obviously, then we went into the 3rd round, traded back 4 different times.
Right. Yeah.
As I'm on Twitter watching all these fans just freak out. Oh my God, what are we doing? Why didn't you take this guy? Why didn't you take this guy? Well,
that was me. 100% me.
Well, as I always say, I tend to put it in the professionals' hands when it comes to draft.
It's Spielman.
And Spielman, overall, Spielman has done a very good job of drafting. Nobody's 100%.
No.
Right.
So when I say that to people, they're like, well, what about this person? What about this? He's going to miss some. But it's the ones that he nails and how good they become.
Yep.
I mean, you look at our defense.
Right.
Who's a free agent on our defense?
Right. Yeah. There's
Seriously, who? Joseph Linval.
Yes.
Linval.
There
That's
we
it.
go.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Otherwise, everybody else is drafted.
yeah. That's true. Yeah. Everything was.
So
When you think about it.
yeah. So right there just shows you how it looks there. So it's even on the offensive side. Cook, Diggs, Thielen, obviously a free agent pickup
Right.
after the draft.
CJ Ham.
CJ Ham. You got Elflein was drafted. O'Neal was drafted. We supplemented a couple of free agent linemen,
Well,
and of course Cousins.
Cousins.
So that's the only knock you could say on Spielman is he didn't do well drafting quarterbacks, Ponder and Bridgewater.
Oh man. Yeah.
Well,
So-
I wouldn't say Bridgewater was a bad one. He just got injured, too.
That I'll agree with that.
I thought he sucked, but sure. I didn't like him.
I thought we never saw his potential for what he could have became, but I agree. So, anyways, So after trading down a bunch of times, we went offense again with Madison.
Matson.
Yeah.
Okay. Madsen.
I'll let you guys go first before I.
Yeah.
Before I do
So
this one.
5'11", 221 pounds, physical back who can carry the load and catch passes. Very similar to Murray in that aspect. Averaged 4.7 yards per rush during his junior season. Yes, people might say, well, that's for Boise State, and he was going up against Wyoming and other people. But, Boise State is a top, for a smaller school, is one of the top ones like that. And
They play some good teams.
hard teams.
Yeah.
And kind of a funny story too. There kept on showing all these different highlights, and there's that one highlight where he's jumping over.
Yep.
He's the goal line and he leaps over someone. That person, our 6th round pick, Marcus Epps.
Oh yeah. Oh man, that's awesome. Oh jeez.
yeah. So
Wow,
I thought
that's great.
that was funny that one that's going around is of the guy we drafted. So
That's awesome.
But I didn't think they were gonna go this early on a running back. After seeing some of the stuff, what I've read on him, I mean he's a straightforward hit contact. That's what we needed to complement because we have Cook who's got the speed, who's got the moves.
Yep.
He make people miss. You can even say that's Abdullah Also, he's a smaller back if he makes the team.
Yeah, he's
And-
there's no way.
And I think, I just think our other backups are just not going to do anything.
No.
With Rock and Boone. Boone might. Rock, I don't know what's going to happen with him. I
He might
he's
be
got
gone.
He's got that felony drug arrest, so he's probably gone. But Boone he could be a nice, somebody's injured, come in for a few plays. I don't think he's starter NFL, especially yet. I mean,
Yeah.
that was his rookie year last year. So overall, I'm excited about the pick. DJ, will go to you, your thoughts, and then obviously Tim.
No, I like him. He almost reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew coming out of college. Just the way he was like a bowling ball, and so is Mattson. I mean, he's going to run people over. He's not as tall as Murray, and that was the one thing with Murray. He couldn't run people over.
He ran very tall.
Tall, yeah.
He was tall and he ran tall.
Yeah,
Yep.
he couldn't. I mean, he was 6'4" essentially. He couldn't bend over and plow people over.
Yep.
I mean, and plus Mattson's catching. That's something we still haven't had. I mean, yes, Murray could. Cook's been out for a couple of years, and AP back in AP.
Yeah, he never really
He
caught it out
never
either.
caught
No, unfortunately. I mean,
So yeah, exactly. I feel that over the last couple of years, that's one thing that's disappeared from our offense is the running back screen and just catching.
yes.
Yeah.
I feel it's disappeared. So hopefully Cook healthy.
A little more
Mattson-
halfback screens and a little less wide receiver screens.
Yep. No, I agree. Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, Alexander Mattson. I watch a lot of college football. I have seen him play. I know who he was when you drafted him. I thought it was a puzzling pick. He's around round 5 or 6. They said a lot of people said round 5 or 6, but like Beau said, it's the Latavius Murray comparison. And when you look at them by each other, it's like really they have a lot of the same traits. But Mattson, I would say he's not much better than Boone, but we drafted him in the 3rd round. We're going to give him 10 carries a game. I mean, he's going to be our Latavius.
Yep.
Boone's going to be our whatever you want to call him. He'll be on special teams, they said. So then this pretty much seals Rock, Thomas, and Abdullah. They're not going to have a job with Thomas' suspension looming, especially. But I mean, Mattson, he's like they're showing his like leaping ability and all that stuff. Obviously, he's got some attributes that are good, and plus he's like one of the nicest. They showed some of his off the field stuff.
Seems like going to be a fan favorite.
Yeah, and some of his off the field stuff. I guess he signs for everyone an hour before the game. Like that's crazy. Like, so he's obviously going to have this down in the NFL too. So I mean, I thought it was kind of puzzling, especially with I'm a big Hakeem Butler fan, and he was still there, and he was the next pick the next day, the first pick of the next day. But they would say in Spielman we trust. So
Yep.
we'll see how it goes.
And a little bit going off that, I mean, and you got to think about that too as a business standpoint. Is drafting if they're going to be a fan favorite, you think they're going to be. That's
for
going to
sure.
going to drive more people to go to there. And
Yep. Just like people with character issues drop.
yep,
I'm sure people who are good overall people and stuff might bump up a little farther than
Right.
Yep.
than their play would have them do. So yeah, like I said, didn't think they were going to go that early in running back, but I'm excited to see what he has to offer.
He's going to play a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
He really is. And I'm actually curious because we are going to carry 3 running backs because Mattson, I don't think, will play a lot of special teams. But when you think about it, neither did Murray. I don't think Murray plays special
No, I don't
teams
think
at
so.
all.
I don't
did he?
think so.
So Mattson probably will fill that change of pace to Cook role. And it's not like Cook doesn't catch the ball in the backfield. He hasn't played a whole lot. So
No,
I think both of
exactly.
those guys
Yeah.
will probably both catch the ball a lot. So
Yep. No, I'm excited for that.
Right.
For that possibility. So after that, we went into the 4th round, and we got Drew Samia, offensive guard from Oklahoma. 4 out of the 5 Oklahoma offensive linemen were drafted.
Right.
And the only reason why all 5 weren't is because one was a freshman.
Freshman. Yep. Yep.
He couldn't.
Yep.
He literally could not. Otherwise, they probably all would have went. Just a few things on Samia. A little, once again, position flexibility. He had 10 starts in college at right tackle before 38 consecutive starts at right guard. So he can play right tackle if we need him to. And once again, I mean, that's 48 straight starts. So he's not going to be, hopefully, knock on wood, he's not going to be super injury prone or anything like that. So that's good to see. Same as with the way Klein was when we signed Klein.
Right.
He hasn't missed
That's
a
what I was
game
gonna
for
say.
a long time too. So that's key. I mean, when you're not going to have a deep bench on the offensive line, you need guys who can stay healthy. So he's got that, from what I heard, prototypical zone blocker with strong athletic abilities. He's able to reach laterally along with the movement skills needed to elevate to the second level.
Yep.
Which is a major emphasis that the Vikes wanted to do, is we want to do more explosives, run more, reignite a dormant screen, like I just mentioned. So, I mean, he seems like he might have dropped also, too. I thought I
Yes.
saw he was like a third, second.
Late second, yeah.
So we got a good value pick on that.
Yes, I'm a big Oklahoma Sooners fan. Some people, I don't know if you guys knew that or not, but I'm a big
Oh, I
Adrian
know.
Peterson fan. So I always liked Oklahoma. So I knew who Drew Samia was too. The other guys not so much. Some of the other guys I didn't know, but Samia, that's the last player that we drafted that I really knew. He is a good run blocker, good footwork, and this is the big one. Last year he allowed 0 sacks on 879 snaps. That's crazy. 0 sacks and 11 quarterback hurries. That's crazy. And like I said, late second round talent. Like Beau said, I think he was the 4th taken,
I believe so.
but they said he could have been the 2nd taken.
Yeah.
So honestly, and then Thor Nystrom on Roto-World said that this is one of his top 5 steals of the draft. So
wow. Nice.
Drew Samia, I like this a lot. And he also seems like a good kid too. So he said he wanted to get to the stadium, get to work right away.
Nice.
And I said, no, you got to hold off a couple days, But
we got to sign you.
yes, so
Awesome. Anything you wanted to add there, DJ?
Well, one thing he was also like a vocal leader too. I was reading too, which is something a lot of teams need on their offensive line, is a vocal leader, getting in there like Tim said, wanted to start right away. So I think it's a great pick, especially a steal in the late round.
I love the pick. Yeah,
In worst case scenario, he's depth.
right.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Best case scenario, we release Klein next year or after this year,
Or
and
Reef.
Samia, or Reef or whatever, and see what happens. So let's keep rolling here into round 5. We didn't have a round 5 pick before the start of the draft,
Right.
but during all those moves down in the 3rd round, we picked up that round 5, which I think they wanted to do anyways. We picked up Cameron Smith from USC. It sounds like he doesn't have a lot of great physical and athletic traits. Sounds like he's one of those guys that he's very he follows his instinct,
Right.
and
high
he
motor,
reacts
they said.
reacts quickly and with anticipation, which I think was kind of, even though Greenway was taken a lot earlier, I think that's kind of Greenway too, in
Yeah.
a way, isn't it?
They had a comparison there, yeah, and plus he led USC in tackles. If
Yep.
you lead
4-year
USC in
play-
tackles, like,
Led him for 3 consecutive seasons.
oh really? Wow, okay.
Yeah, so he was a 4-year player. Led him his last 3 years in tackles, and also played in a very similar system that we run here.
That's what I was going to say as well. Yeah, in 90th percentile at his position in hand size and vertical, and a 4.69 40. I mean, he's going to have he like you said, he lacks some, but with his high motor, and he played at USC. I mean, especially this on a special teams, he'll contribute because he's got that just the instincts, especially. So
Yep.
I like the pick. I mean, you can't go wrong with a round 5 linebacker. So
No.
Yeah,
you can go wrong, but you know what I mean.
And like I said, we play so much nickel and dime, anyways. So the Gideon, which I've never been hugely impressed with.
No.
I mean, a few things here and there, but Gideon might be about ready to lose his job possibly if Smith comes in and does well. Let's keep rocking and rolling. We'll go through these last rounds a little faster, just because it's just such a crapshoot when you get to this. So we go into round 6. This one kind of intrigues me. Armon Watts, defensive tackle from Arkansas. They say he's still pretty raw. He only appeared in 6 games prior to this last season.
Yeah, hurt his hamstring, right?
Yeah. But when he did play, he led the Razorbacks with 7 sacks. He had 49 tackles, 8.5 for loss, and he also tied the team for 3 forced fumbles.
And he was out for a while too.
Yeah, so it's
Jeez.
so it like I said, it's very intriguing. He's got a lot of upside. He has long athletic frame and a great skill set. it's a great option to put into the rotation that we do with our defensive line and where our defensive tackle is, because I mean after Linval, it is kind of a crapshoot on what's going to happen. They need somebody.
Yep.
It's there for somebody to step up and take the reins, whether it's him, whether it's Holmes because he moved in, or Shamar Steffen, right?
Yep, Steph. Yep, correct.
So it's going to be a battle between those three to who gets to line up next to Linval in the D tackle.
And the rookie's going to try. Trust me, he's uncommon quickness for his size, big time rushing ability. Only thing I have for a negative for him, what I read was he just lacks a run stopping, but I think that might have been because of the system as well. Mm-hmm. So you never know.
And that might be fine. Maybe that's where
situational.
Yeah, if he comes in at third down to rush that whatever.
Yeah,
if he gets 3-4 sacks on the season, okay. As a part-time player.
And the nice thing is, I mean, he spent 2 seasons pretty much watching from the sidelines, so there really isn't that much wear and tear on his body either, which is nice.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. I like that. So, he's the most intriguing person in the draft for me. Okay. I feel like he is very intriguing. I like the options for him. So after that, also in round 6, number 191, we took the aforementioned Marcus Epps from Wyoming, the safety that got hurdled by our running back. And from what I read on him, this is what I like about him. It seems like he's a little undersized, but he was a walk-on
at college.
And became an immediate contributor. And that's a Thielen type thing. I mean, you don't have to have all the greatest. You don't have to be the greatest talent, but if you work, like this guy might have to walk on, start and get drafted in the 6th round. You know, he had 9 career interceptions, 22 defended passes for Wyoming.
Right.
6th round pick. It's worth a depth
all right.
For a safety spot. You know, I don't know if there's anything more you guys want to touch on him at all, but
I don't know him.
Yeah,
so
like I said.
One thing I read on him, he's a hard hitter too. So
nice.
Which is something.
Special teams.
Yep. Special teams.
Special teams. And
just in the rotation at safety next to Harrison Smith.
Yep. No, I like it. So right after that, then we had another round 6. Excuse me. 193 overall. I mean, we had 3 picks out of 4 there in the 6th round. Right. So it went fast. We picked up an offensive tackle, Udo.
Oli Udo. Yep.
Oli Udo.
And I was telling them about this guy before we went on the air here. He came in as a freshman weighing 380 pounds at Elon College. His grandma is I don't know, 6'8". 6'8". His grandma was 6'8". Are you kidding me? Okay, hopefully she played basketball.
Yeah.
But this guy walked on at 380, came in at 380, got down to 323, 6'6", 35 3/8 inch arms, which is second in the draft. So
nice.
Projected 4th round. He went. I like this pick a lot, and I obviously has project written all over him. He's from a small school. I get it.
Yep.
But
we got the great coaching,
right? So was Brandon Fusco, Slippery Rock. Hey, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's projects that work out. You never know. Not comparing him to the starting caliber Brandon Fusco, who actually got released today. We should pick him up.
Yeah.
But
Atlanta dropped him.
Yeah.
So once again, great project option. Got a good offensive line coach.
Right.
We'll see.
That's the thing. That's exciting. Yeah. So
we'll see. Then we jump into round 7, 217 overall. We picked up Chris Boyd, cornerback from Texas, and a little bit on him. This is another steal from what I heard. A lot of people are saying 4th round.
Todd McShay had him on his. I don't know if you watched it all on Saturday.
No, I watched Avengers. DJ and I.
Oh, nice. Whatever.
Yeah.
He was on McShay's top available for the last 3 hours. On there.
Wow.
So he just
wonder why people think passed over.
I don't know.
Nobody wanted cornerbacks, I guess.
Well, the thing is, they didn't know if he fit for a corner, and they said he could move to a safety.
Yeah,
so.
I did read that also. Sounds like he's a physical tackler, great against the run game.
First team All Big 12. I mean, you're first team All Big 12 and
picked in the 7th round.
You're come on. And this is another one of Thor Nystrom's on Roto World, one of his top steals as well. We had 3 of them. That's kind of crazy. So
nice.
7th rounder, projected 4th? You said. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Mm-hmm. So. Yep. So, once again, now we're still in the 7th round. We took 2 wide receivers, a Dylan Mitchell from Oregon, and I'm not going to try to say his first name, Johnson.
Yep.
Olabisi.
Yeah.
Olabisi.
And-
Wide receiver from Colorado State. Once again, it sounds like the Colorado State guy is a returner.
Yes. That's what
That's probably why they got him.
right. The Dylan Mitchell, though, I'm going to throw this in really quick.
Sure.
Last year, he led the Pac-12 in yards, 4.46 speed.
Yep.
And then they say that he's a fifth-round projection. And according to Corey Chavis of Draft Nasty, Corey Chavis,
Yep.
the old ex,
Yep.
he has this Draft Nasty. Dylan Mitchell was in his top 10 receivers.
Oh, jeez.
If he had stayed in his senior year, he would have been a top 50 pick next year. That's what they say. And obviously, he had Justin Herbert throwing to him, which is the top quarterback coming in next year's draft.
Yep.
But, I mean, this is exciting. I think that's a great Dylan Mitchell at round 7. I mean, you can't. That's exciting.
Yeah,
Especially at 6'1".
Right.
It's and here's going those two wide receivers. We picked up the can't remember his name. The one free agent.
Aldrick Robinson.
No.
This
We
year?
let him. Yeah, this year. The he played for San Francisco, I think. I can't remember who he was. I can't remember the name. Anyways, we picked him up also. So obviously we've got Diggs and Thielen etched in stone, and then you've got Treadwell, who if
He's
we
gonna
do,
be gone.
he probably is. But if we do lose him, it's 100% against our cap.
Today they said that
They're not
they
picking
did
up
not
it.
pick up his 2020.
Oh,
So-
yeah,
So he'll be gone
obviously.
this
Yeah, so if he even lasts that long. And then you've got the guy we picked up, like I said, in free agency. You got our 2 draft picks. You got BB, and then you've got Zylstra.
Right.
Is this a bad sign for our local guy, Zylstra? I mean, he's going to have to come in, not get injured at all,
Right.
like he did last year in the preseason, and he's going to have to ball, I feel, to make the team.
And I think BB's ahead of him on the depth chart. I really think he is.
I don't know. Yeah, I get it. I just feel like BB is too Thielen
tiny.
light.
He's tiny.
He reminds me of Thielen light.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I mean? It just, I don't know. I'm still, I like BB, but I don't know. I'm not sold on him yet. But like I said, I mean, we'll keep 5 wide receivers, possibly 6.
I didn't know.
So-
I didn't even know you were talking about Jordan Taylor. We picked up from the Broncos.
Yeah, Broncos.
I didn't even know that we had him until
Yes.
just now. That's not a bad pickup either. Huh?
That's what I'm saying. He was probably going to slip into the 3 spot.
He'll slip in the
Wow.
slot,
I
yeah.
didn't
Possibly.
even know that was him. Okay, yeah.
So he might be the 3rd guy, and so then you've got the 2 drafted, and we've got Zylstra and BB fighting for the 4th and 5th
Jeez,
spot.
yeah.
And Treadwell.
Treadwell. I don't know.
I don't know if he'll. I think they'll just say, "Screw it, we're going to eat his cap number."
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we did.
Yeah, it's a good chance he's gone. We'll just assume he's gone.
Right. No, I'm guessing. So
So-
do we think that 7th rounder could have a chance to do returns? I'm surprised that we didn't draft a kick returner, to be honest. But
Yeah, I think they're just gonna. They got him. They've got obviously Abdullah, who did it quite a bit last year. And I think there was Zylstra did some punt return. BB did some punt return.
That's right.
So I mean, there's going to be definitely a battle for the kickoff and punt return between those guys, and whoever. And once again, that's going to give one of those wide receivers possibly a leg up in making the team if they win that job. They're going to
Right.
be guaranteed that spot. Well, we'll talk on the last pick, which was just which everybody was like, "What the hell?" Austin cutting a long snapper from Air Force, where everybody was like, "Okay, why didn't they just wait till free agency after the draft and just pick him up?" But sounds like he might be stuck with the Air Force for 2 years.
right.
And our long snapper,
Kevin McDermott.
Kevin McDermott, contract ends in 2 years.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, so
Well, he's supposed to be the top long. This is weird. Top long snapper, that prospect.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, I guess. I mean, whatever. So, hey,
you know,
good for him. He got drafted. That's cool.
Exactly. Well, we won't go into depth with our long snapping
Don't forget about Jake Browning.
thoughts. There you go.
We got picked. Today we picked up Jake Browning, or yesterday, the quarterback out of Washington, undrafted free agent. And I thought, oh, whatever. Then I saw how much we paid him. We guaranteed him $140,000. He's definitely gonna have a chance to earn a spot on the roster.
yeah.
And maybe and probably be a practice.
Oh yeah, I mean, he,
Probably started the practice.
right. But
I mean, we got 3 other guys behind.
if he plays well at all, like Browning plays well at all in training camp or whatever, Mannion's probably not going to make the team, and Slaughter will be our backup. So
which is very possible. I'd
Yeah.
be fine with that.
yeah, true.
But overall, I've seen online the quote unquote experts saying that this was
an
A draft for the Vikings.
yes,
And that's great to hear. Obviously, they know these guys have taken a snap in the NFL yet, so we won't know until this fall. So, I mean, we can, sunshine, lollipops, and rainbows all we want, but until they take a snap, we'll see what we got.
Right.
But it's great to hear that other people see the positivity of our draft.
yeah.
I'm overall satisfied. I can't wait till the season already. Well, that's the way I am every year. That's why I say, there's 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, and winter. But for me, there's only 2 seasons, football season and non-football season. So I can't wait for football season to start.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh, interesting. All right. Hey, you kind of watch. You pay attention to the Twins.
I have watched more Twins this year than I have over the last 2 to 3 years combined.
It's because you got to kind of keep up with me, like next
I
week.
do. I gotta try to hang with you a little bit, and I've been doing that. Well, I just got.
Hey, they're fun though. You got to admit.
I just got a laptop for Christmas, so I've been streaming the games. So the wife will be watching TV, and I'll just have the game on mute off to my side, and I'll just watch it, or I'm playing PlayStation. I'm playing the show, and and then I got the computer just in the lower left hand corner watching that. So I'm watching that and playing that. I was outside a couple Saturdays ago. We were watching the doubleheader.
I'm proud of you, man.
And I watched the entire. I know, right? I'm getting into it.
Right.
So and we're going to be doing a bunch of other great baseball things coming up. I'll be able to announce that next week. Like you said, Tim, you'll be coming back next week.
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
So we'll have Tim back on next week since we haven't talked Twins for 2 weeks, and I might have a new person coming in next Tuesday. So that'll be
Go easy on
big Twins.
That's right.
So there's a couple. There's 2 of them that I can reach out to. I won't give their names yet because I don't know who's going to show up. But one of them is very well. Well, both of them are very well known in the community, and so that's a little.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, it's
Cool,
a good.
man.
It's a little teaser for next week. But I mean, any other comments you guys want to give on the draft? I mean, we've been on for a while now, so it's probably good to wrap it up. Anything, you guys? No?
Bo Vikes.
Yes.
Skull.
Yes. Let's do this, and super excited. Let's get mini camp over with. Let's get the preseason started. And let's just get rocking. Let's just get rocking. So, thank you all for listening. Once again, hit thumbs up. Subscribe, share, comment what your thoughts are on the draft picks, and let us know down in the comments below. So thank you all again for tuning in, and we will see you next week.